Donna here with Ready to Stamp. And today we are going to be working on making this envelope into something fabulous. Now I told you that we were going to take this envelope that you normally put your cards in. Of course, we decorated a little bit, either by putting DSP here or stamping a image on the front of it. But today we're going to make it into something spectacular, and I'm gonna show you how we're going to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we are going to start with the envelope, of course. And what we're going to do with it is I'm going to take my aqua painter, and instead of licking it, I'm going to use my aqua painter to get the stickum all sticky and close it up. That's the first thing you want to do. Okay, then we're going to take our trimmer, and I'm going to trim off the top of it. You're going to trim off one end at about 1/4 of an inch. Not even 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Okay? So that's where the opening is going to be. See? That's where the opening is going to be. Now on the rest of it, we're going to go at 1/2 inch, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay? Score, and then I turn it over. It just helps with the folding if you do it both ways. 1/2 inch. Now we don't have to do the top, so I'm going to do the other side at 1/2 inch. Flip it over, 1/2 inch, same place we just did. And now we're going to do the bottom. This is going to make, in case you haven't figured it out yet, we're going to be making what's called a bag-a-lope. And this is going to be something that you can use. I'm using it specifically for Christmas time because we're still in our 12 days of Christmas. But you can use this for birthday. If you have a small gift and you don't have time to run to the store to grab a bag, then this is what we're going to do. Got some, and they're stuck together. There we go. We've got some gold leaves that come from the Gold Forever Fern gold foil thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take one of the leaves from Forever Fern. I'm going to use our shaded spruce. I'm going to stamp it or ink it up with shaded spruce. I'm going to stamp it on my grid paper here, my grid paper. Yes. So I'm going to stamp it here. And then I'm going to stamp it on here. Whoops, I think I want to do it an extra time because I want it very faint. Yes. So we're going to stamp it off twice. And then I'm just going to put it on here like so. Just like that. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take our Christmas wishes out of A Wish for Everything stamp set. It's got a whole bunch of words and stuff in it. I'm going to emboss this, but first thing I want to do is I want to dry it off a little bit, because if I don't, then the embossing powder will stick to it, and I don't want that. So I'm going to make sure that it's dry. I use the first setting on our heat tool. Now I'm going to take the Christmas wishes, and you see I have 2 of them on there, so I'm stamping it with I just arranged them the way I wanted it to look on here. So stamp it on there. Then I'm going to rub against the edge of it because I want to get some gold on the edge, just to kind of give it a little something something. But I'm going to be careful. Try not to touch the words. Whoops. Yeah, that was good. So we're going to have to dry it off a little bit, I think. Not dry it off, but scrape off the extra gold, since I dropped it in the embossing powder. That's okay. So I took my little tweezers, picked it up, dumped it in, just like so. I have a little brush here that I can brush off the excess that I don't want. Okay. And I'm going to have to wipe off a bunch of it because I accidentally dropped it in the embossing, the Versamark. So we'll just sit here for a couple of seconds and wipe off some so that you can tell what it says. I'd say that looks pretty good. So normally when you get your embossing powder, you will get it in a little like 2 ounce or 3 ounce, I forget how much, but in a container. And I just like to dump it in these big rubber made things because actually it's Glad. I like to put them in there. I like to put them in there because then it's easier for me to work with. Okay, let's put it together now. Got some. Okay, so I'm going to use my gold, and these are from the Forever Fern set that has gold with it. So, oops, I have it upside down. So I'm going to take my glue. Yep. Oh my. Okay, come on, glue. Get out. Okay, and then this is going to go up here at the top, just like that. And the reason I did the scoring at first was because I wanted to make sure I had enough room for everything that was going to go on here and make sure of the placement. So alright, so now I'm going to take my circle that I just did out of the 2-inch circle punch, and I'm going to glue it onto the gold foil here that I punched out with a 2.5 circle punch, 2.5 inch. Wait, is that 2.5? No, I'm sorry, it's 2.25 inch circle punch. So because I put the gold emboss around the edges, it just kind of blends right into the gold piece, right? So now I'm going to glue the gold piece onto the envelope. Just like so. And already, doesn't it look much prettier already? Just Yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. And we're going to make a bag out of it. Maybe. Seriously? Did you see what I did? Okay, so let's just fix that. I told you to be careful which end to score, not score the top, and that's exactly what I did. So we'll just come down here and we'll try it again. We'll just score it at the bottom. Score it at the bottom. See, there's always a fix. And then I'm just going to cut this off. It's okay. We'll just cut that off and nobody will even know we made that mistake. So, shh, don't tell. Okay? If you could see my desk right now, guys, you'd be like, oh my goodness. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to open it up and we're going to make it into a bag. So what I do is I push down on the ends and I use my bone folder quite a bit with this. So you need some kind of a tool that can get down in there because my fingers are not long enough to get in there. If yours are long enough to get in there and you are using a smaller envelope, go for it with your fingers, but I'm doing it with my bone folder. So all I'm doing is pinching the edges right here. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the edge of this right here because it's not sticking. And it would work much easier and much better if it was sticking. Okay. So again, I'm going to use my bone folder. And see, there's a little triangle or a little tiny square right here on the edge, and I'm trying to make it into a triangle so then it'll fold much nicer with the rest of the envelope. Do you see how that's working? Yeah. And we push in. And this is a lot of finagling and trying to hold your tongue right so it folds correctly. You know how that goes. And at first it kind of looks like you're messing it up, but oh my goodness, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. It's fine. And then I'm going to use my glue dots. Add a glue dot to the corner here, the little triangle. Because I'm going to glue that down. Because if you glue it down, it helps with it to stand up. And again, my fingers are not long enough. So we're going to use the bone folder and press it in. Like so. Okay, so now I'm going to add the edges. Fold the edges, just like so. And then fold the edges. And here you have your little tiny bag for that small gift that you just didn't want to, you know, do a lot by the, and you know what? The Christmas Wishes is upside down. Let me see. So you get to see how I get off when I make a mistake and put it on wrong. If you put this against it, it will loosen up, it'll melt the glue a little, and so you can pull it off. Ouch. But be careful that you don't burn yourself. Okay, that's enough. We'll just pull it off. See, it kind of loosened it up a little bit, so now I can pull it off. But I got it upside down because yeah. So we'll just add a little more glue and nobody will even know. So don't tell. See? you get to see that I'm not a perfect creator either. So we're just going to do it like so. Put it on there. Perfect. See, nobody even knows. Look at that. So now I got some tissue paper, and I took some white tissue paper and I embossed some ferns on it that I put on there on this card. So you stick your little gift in there, you put this in. And look at how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous. I love it. Okay, so we went from drab envelope to beautiful gift bag. Look at that, how gorgeous. Whoops, sorry. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that nice? And of course, if that's too much, you can always cut it down. So, but there's that. And here's a couple of the other ones that I made. Here's a little one. Maybe it's for little jewelry. Or, yeah, so, and then here's one. It just has, I just folded down the top of it. This one I added some of our linen thread to it. And this one here, very, very simple. Thinking of you this season with the trees. And then I put some red ribbon on it. Okay, so here you go. There's all the different bags that I made, going from envelope to a beautiful Christmas gift bag, or birthday, or anniversary, or wedding, or whatever you want to make an envelope bag, a bag-a-lope with. So, thanks for stopping by, and if you are interested in more ideas, please please go to my blog website, and you'll get the details for this card. That's not a card, that's a gift bag. And be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any more of my my videos. So again, this is Donna with Ready to Stamp, and thanks for stopping by, and happy creating.